Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. I know some of you have been wondering if I was going to do any reviews for Ready to Love Detroit. Well good people, I decided to avoid doing episode reviews for this season of Ready to Love, and instead I'll be sharing random videos about certain topics that pertain to Ready to Love Detroit. Today's video will share my list for how I would rank the women for this season of the show. The criteria that I would use for this list will be physical attraction, personality, and who would be the right fit for me if I were single and a cast member on the show. Let me state that I don't know any of these women personally, and I'm just going on by what I've seen over the past 4 episodes. And this list will start with who would be my weakest connection to who would be my strongest connection. Starting at number 10, my weakest connection would have likely been Diamond. And I can only say this from one man's perspective. Diamond is not ugly by any means, but there are levels of physical beauty, and Diamond came into the process working behind the 8 ball. She had competition on the show that would be considered more naturally beautiful, while other women on the show have had some surgery to enhance their beauty. One of the more significant reasons why Diamond got booed off the show first was because she didn't know how to effectively flirt or make an impression with the men that was so impactful that would cause her prospective match to want to look past the physical and keep her around because they could see a romantic connection down the line. When you couple that with Diamond being an attorney, historically speaking, female attorneys who come on Ready to Love struggle to find connections because they come off as pretty stiff in the getting to know you phase. And Diamond did seem to be a little stiff in the limited scenes that were aired, and because of that, Diamond would be the worst connection for me. At number 9, I gotta pick Emily. Now I gotta be honest, if I were a cast member on Ready to Love Detroit, my first impression of Emily would be good googly moogly, because my eyes would have been laser focused on her chest. Emily also has a decent looking face, but upon closer observation, Emily has a lot of catfishing going on. And by catfishing, I mean the makeup, the hair, the lashes, the push-up bra, and the body shaping gear that she has on, which makes her look a lot better than she would normally look. Because if you catch her fresh out of the shower, then she might look like a completely different person. But in addition to Emily's catfishing tendencies, from a personality perspective, she seems pretty dull. Emily is not trying to do anything that would give a person an adrenaline rush. She's very judgmental, and it seems like her demeanor noticeably changes up on the show, depending on if the women or men are up for elimination. So I would wonder if she was on the show for the right reasons. At number 8, I gotta pick Dominique. Kinda like Emily, in my opinion, Dominique gives off catfish energy. Indeed, she looks nice and she has some attractive qualities, but I gotta wonder how much of her physical appearance is fake, and could a guy really expect her to maintain her appearance? But aside from that, I don't think that my personality would mesh well with Dominique's. Dominique comes off as judgmental. And the irony with that is that she easily gets offended when she's questioned about the aspects of her past life. To me, that's a glaring red flag, especially somebody her age. So it definitely wouldn't be a good fit. At number 7, I gotta roll with Lauren. Lauren is indeed physically beautiful, no doubt, and she would catch my eye for sure. But there are several things that will make me want to look the other way. Her height, in which she's 6 foot tall without heels. Her desire to be the most judgmental and demanding woman on the cast, and her obsession with wanting a guy that meets certain physical characteristics. Some guys might be able to get past all those red flags because of how Lauren looks, but I wouldn't bother investing too much energy in getting to know her. At number 6, my pick is Christina. And if we're keeping it real, then I gotta say that Christina, or Ina as she likes to be called, is a very physically attractive woman. She has a high level of natural beauty, she has a nice body, she seems very smart, very talented, and she knows how to hold a conversation. The problem at hand is that Christina is extremely aware of how beautiful she is, and she feels that her beauty alone should be enough to demand princess treatment and require that a man spend money on her to make her feel special. Well, what happens once the money dries up and the man falls on hard times? I doubt that Christina would stick around, but I also find Christina to be a little messy. During the ladies' lounge deliberation in episode 4, Christina mentioned how Vince called one of the women in the group the B word. And after a little digging, we learned that Christina didn't actually hear Vince call anyone out of their name. With a little more digging, we learned that Christina heard this information through pillow talking, which means that one of the guys heard Vince made the comment, then snitched to Christina, and Christina told the women something that she didn't know for a fact, with hopes of getting Vince off the show. I can't see myself being with any woman that comes off that messy. At number 5, I have Ashley. And for her, I have some of the same concerns that I had for Christina. Ashley is physically beautiful. She makes great eye contact, and she has great conversational skills. But her making the statement that a man needed to have money to date her was a little off-putting. In my opinion, getting to know somebody shouldn't come at a cost. For the dating process, two people should be able to meet in a neutral setting where no money needs to be spent, and they should take their time to see if their personalities and goals align. If there is a mutual match, then they can proceed to date exclusively and decide how much money needs to be spent to reach the higher level in their relationship. So I don't fault Ashley for wanting a man to spend money on her, but that's just not my cup of tea. At number 4, I have Shantae. Shantae is naturally beautiful and she's goal-oriented. My primary issue with Shantae is that she admitted that she could get a little spicy sometimes, and it seems like she needs a guy to drive the conversation with her instead of allowing the conversation to flow naturally. I find it ironic that Shantae is like this because she mentioned that she wanted a guy that was soft and nice to her. Does she really want a man that she can walk over? Who knows? But in my opinion, when a woman admits that she can get spicy, she has a way with words and she has no problems using her words as a weapon. And I tend to stay as far away from toxic energy as possible. Is Shantae toxic? I don't know, but I also wouldn't want to waste my time and find out if there are other matches that haven't shown that they have it in them to be toxic. At number 3, I picked Donna. Donna is a decent looking woman, and she's coming off as very book smart. Sometimes Donna can come off as the analytical bookworm with a dry sense of humor, and other times she comes off as a bootleg investigator with the CIA. What I do like about Donna is that she is very aware of the mistakes that she's made in the past when dating guys, and I liked how receptive Donna was with the feedback that she was given when she was on the chopping block. I see Donna as somebody that might not get the most looks, but I think her heart is in the right place, and I think that she's worth dating. At number 2, I have Shannon. Shannon is physically stunning. In the words of Kevin Samuels, Shannon is fit, feminine, and friendly. She has a lucrative career, and she seems like she's very intentional about dating. If I had any concerns about Shannon, it would be her job. I've heard a lot of rumors about how nurses operate in the hospital, and I don't know Shannon well enough to know if she gets down like that. But if I started dating Shannon and I learned that she was a nurse, I would wonder if she ever participated in the extracurricular activities while on the job. And I would also want to know if she had the time to start a family, given how busy her job might get. At number 1, I have Nicole. In my opinion, Nicole has the type of beauty that can be showcased without any makeup. She has an amazing physique, she considers herself to be a good girl, and what truly separates Nicole from somebody like Shannon is that Nicole seems like she likes to have a lot of fun, whereas Shannon seems like she's more hesitant to let loose and be completely comfortable around a guy. If I were a cast member on Ready to Love, Nicole would be my top lady, and I would look forward to getting to know her on a more personal level. But that's my list, good people, and I would like to know what you all think. Please feel free to leave all comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.